Okay, well, welcome everybody. We're so happy to see you all here. And I'm just going to get right into introducing our guest because we want to hear from him tonight. I like to call him my friend Scott because we've been in Asea for a lot of years together. And he started out with doing the tours for our team. Many of you might remember that he was at the production facility and he did a lot of tours for us for our team because that was the main way that I grew my team was to bring them in and have them tour the Redox Center. So Scott and his family have been a real great I guess, just real great friends to our family. And we appreciate him so much. Him and Rosemary, I think, are best friends. And Rosemary has been such an impact in almost all of our lives here, everybody that's on the call. She has really impacted our lives with sharing ASEA with us. And Scott has been a big part of that. So, Scott, I'm grateful that you've been able to come on tonight and share some time with us. And go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about who you are and the history that you have with ASEA. And he's now retired, so he has the retired life. And we really appreciate you taking time to be here.
Yeah, thanks, Lorianne. It's great to be here, and I appreciate the introduction. I consider you and Ray very close friends as well, and our paths have crossed many times over the years.
Yeah.
Maybe for some that don't know, I started with ASEA 13 years ago, and my job was to build what we now refer to as the Redox Center. We used to just call it the plant. It
Yeah.
was the plant, the production plant or the production facility. And over time, because it grew and the business got larger and larger, we started to refer to it as the Redox Center. And I will take credit for coming up with that name.
Good.
So my first position with the company was I was the senior vice president of global operations. So I was over production, quality, research, all the global distribution as we set up new warehouses across the world. And then that grew into chief operating officer, which also included all those responsibilities plus all the associate support. And then about 3.5 years ago, I became the president of the company. And then for the last 18 months, I was chief operating officer or chief executive officer, sorry. Um, and that was my 13-year journey, and it led me to the end of my professional career, at least for right now. Really a big job, and my wife and I love the company very much. And I've seen it all, really. I've seen it through the growth throughout Europe, and then when we opened Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, all throughout Asia. And in the 13 years I was with the CIA, I visited 55 different countries,
Wow.
several of them many, many times.
Wow.
And what an adventure it was. But it just got that I needed to take a step back and spend more time with my family and our grandkids. Um, it was really interesting because 18 months ago, I was on the stage in Dallas, Texas, and our oldest daughter went into labor with her third son. And then at the 1st of November, we were 12 hours away from going to Malaysia to a regional conference in Asia. And our number three daughter went into premature labor with her first daughter, our first
Oh,
granddaughter.
wow.
And so you kind of take a step back and you evaluate the personal sacrifice. And um, we decided to make a change and to step back. And so, but it was an amazing journey and something that we'll always remember. And as I look back, what we remember the most is the friendships. And Lorianne, you've been part of that. And I can't tell you how many plant tours or tours of the Redox Center I gave over the years. And it was really the part of my job that I missed the most when I didn't give those tours anymore. And on January 10th, I came back for a tour, kind of with some of the associates. And it was a little bit, I was a little conflicted because it's like selling your house and going back to your house. If you've ever done that before, you should never
Yeah.
go back to the house you sell. And so it was really an amazing experience, and we're just grateful we are participating as associates now, just to help people, not really trying to do anything great or amazing, but really learn us the side of the business that I didn't know fully. And I might know everything about the business inside and out, but I'm certainly not an expert in network marketing and the field part of the business. So it's been enlightening for me, and we're really just doing it because we finally have a chance to share with family and friends, where before in my position I really couldn't do that.
Yeah.
uh, so
Yeah.
we were able to give a few samples here or there, but now we have that opportunity, and we're just kind of taking it easy, not doing too much,
Yeah.
um, and enjoying the retired life.
Well, and then we call you and we say, come help us learn
Yeah,
about the Redox Gold because it is it is an incredible technology. I cannot even tell
yeah.
you just in the few times that we've used it. And I thought, how cool would it be if we had you come because you know everything for the last 3 years that has
Mhm.
gone on behind the scenes in getting this Redox Gold to us. So tell us a little bit about that process.
You actually have to go back 12 years, and when we started to develop Renew 28. If Renew 28 wouldn't have come, then Redox Gold wouldn't be possible because of everything that we learned over the years. So we learned how to stabilize the molecules in a gel. We had the equipment that would fill the tubes. The tubes are specially made so they don't react with the molecules. So all this was kind of a precursor. And then it's been over 3.5 years ago, we started getting some research where we were specifically studying the NRF2 pathway. And it was actually the researchers that we were working with at the University of Western Sydney that suggested we test different noble metals. So, a noble metals like platinum, gold, silver, titanium, copper, that we should test noble metals because they believed it would act as a catalyst for redox signaling molecules. So the researchers at the university actually are the ones that came up with, can you create a product that we can test? Because they were very interested in what they were seeing with Asea Redox supplement and with Renew 28. And they were actually giving us some really good guidance on some other things we could try. And so
Wow.
that process took 3.5 years
Wow.
of the safety data. And Lorianne and I had a conversation about that earlier today, to make sure the product was safe, to make sure we're using the right types of gold that couldn't be absorbed through your skin, but simply act as a catalyst to make the redox signaling molecules stronger. And through that, there was a discovery of how to localize how the product was being used. And for the first time, ASEA created a targeted product that directly signaled the NRF2 pathway and increased the production of glutathione. And so that was really kind of these breakthrough moments that started happening in the process. And it was one of those things that we knew how great it was for a long time. And it was during difficult times because we were coming off COVID. The economy was, inflation was going crazy. We were having price increases with the product. We were having a really difficult time as a company, with people getting distracted in the business, and we really needed a product that was acted and worked very quickly. You didn't have to explain a lot. We call that an exponential or an experiential product, where you can experience it quickly. And it was really amazing because a Sea Redox supplement, 60 to 90 days to really get your full impact. renew 28, at least 28 days, and then come with a product that in 2 to 10 minutes you can get a response. And so the science was there, images. So there was thermographic images that showed a reduction in heat, which is signifying that the product is working, having what we call a cooling effect. But it's actually reducing the heat in your body. And that's code word for inflammation, by the way.
Yes, code word.
As you remain compliant with the product, you use words like cooling effect or recovery, um, or discomfort. And then that keeps everybody happy with the FDA and the other foreign markets. And really amazing product. I've been one of the lucky ones, been using it for 4 months.
Wow.
And I said this a couple of weeks ago when I was in Dallas. The first samples I didn't share with my wife because I had a limited amount, and she was having some different discomfort in her feet from playing pickleball too much. And the surface is very hard, and so it's not great on your feet. But I've had a back injury for 39 years, and never was able to get full relief and recovery from that. And I started using it on my back, and immediately I knew we had something. And so I had a limited amount, and I wanted to make sure that I had mine. And a couple of months later, I was able to start giving some to my wife after we were able to make more and more of the samples. But just love the product. And I think there's going to be a huge win for people in their business, for the company, and just super excited. That's why I wanted to stay involved, because I know how good the product is.
So today we had a little conversation, and I think we could open that up here and share it just because people are asking about the gold and and there's just a lack of understanding
Yeah.
of, of how the gold works. So can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, there's two particle sizes of gold. One of them you can see, and that's 24 leaf, 24 karat leaf gold. Now, and there's another gold that you can't really see as well. If you put it under a magnifying glass, you'd be able to see it, and it's very tiny. It looks like little specks. Those two, we have to use different sizes of gold or particle sizes, not nanoparticles, but large enough that it will act as a catalyst. But you need to be able to disperse the gold evenly throughout the product so you can get the proper reaction. So you're using a little bit larger gold in the product because we don't want, from a safety standpoint, it to be absorbed through your skin. So it's just amplifying those redox signaling molecules, getting them to target a specific pathway. But part of the process when you register a product is that you have to show the safety data. So part of this 3.5 year process has been showing that safety data, not just in the United States. I mean, you're going to do United States, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand in this first round of release on Thursday. But it also has to go all throughout Europe and all throughout Asia. So the FDA equivalent in all those different countries have to see that same safety data, and you have to meet those same standards. So there's a lot of skin testing that happens on that. And then, of course, they're going to look at particle size, especially in Europe, because nano technology in Europe is not widely accepted. And so that's what keeps a product so very, very safe, as you're doing it for 35 different markets. I know they're right now they're in the process of listing it in mainland China for the cross-border program. But these are things that will have to take place when you're researching the products. You can sometimes have a product that works and is just so amazing, but it's not going to pass the safety data. And so it would be exactly why you wouldn't want to ingest a product like this. It wouldn't be safe.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's heavy metal, but it's not going into your skin. But the best way to use it is make sure you really rub it in, because then that's going to get right to the pathway where you're having discomfort.
And do we need to shake the bottle like we had to with the Renew
Yeah,
28?
that's good. I do it by habit. Every
I do
once in a
too.
while, it might do that, but this is actually a more viscous or a thicker
Yeah.
product. and it's a little bit different process when it's being made. So this isn't Renew 2.0. That's
Mm-mm.
actually kind of how it started. We thought that there was going to be able to make some different claims with the product, but then the research took it a different direction, and it became very different than the way Renew works. So Renew is going to work with blood flow and all your skin, like your wrinkle reduction, your pore size, your moisture retention, those type of things. But this product doesn't do that. Doesn't do that at all. Doesn't do anything for your wrinkles. I'll give you a little pro tip. It does help under your eyes because if you've got inflammation there, a little bit of puffiness, it can help take that off. And that's why I look so very young
Yeah,
because
you
I'm
you could
using that.
you've
That's
taken.
my little hack that I've discovered with the product is you can put it on your eyelids and under your eyes, and it will help with that puffiness. But other than that, it's not a skin product. It's
Yeah.
definitely very specific, and it's very key because recovery is what you want to remember. Because, like with me, I'll put it on before exercise, and then after I shower, I'll use it again, and then before I go to bed. And
Mm,
the reason before bed, because a lot of times I was waking up with my back hurting, and I don't
mm-hmm,
have that now. So, but that is the recovery aspect. So
mm-hmm.
each time you're going to be a little bit better, a little bit better. And so regular use for sure. And remember that the key element is recovery. You're letting your body recover.
And it is just making it like I love the graph where it increases the glutathione. If
Yeah.
we get, scientific about it, I loved that on the graph it says it increases the glutathione by 70% in your healthy cells and 280% in your compromised cells.
Yeah. There's actually a chemical when you're testing that you can put in a healthy cell that duplicates what a distressed cell would be, and it's called BSO. It stands for a really long name, but the letters are BSO. And the interesting thing is that the product actually works better when a cell is in distress. So if it's healthy, you're going to get some good glutathione, but when it's more distressed, it works even better. And that's what the researchers were really telling us. Wait a minute, we've never seen anything like this. So it's simply amazing. So you've got the science. If somebody wants to be really sciencey, I wouldn't get into that too deep. I would
Yeah.
just say, hey, you trust me enough to use it. And they say, what is it? And if they ask you too many questions, just say, hey, it's not for you.
I just say, oh, I just put it on my shoulder and then I can sleep really good and it doesn't ache at night or my neck. I had a bike accident and I've told several people on here. I put it on at the meeting. They gave us just a little sample and I rubbed it on my neck there and I could not believe that I could turn my head so much farther than I ever had in years since my bike accident.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's what's amazing is people are going to have different responses, but you know your body, you know where you have discomfort, and you can put it on right there. And I've been stalking the internet and watching people's testimonials, and I just am so happy because I knew this was going to be a great product,
yeah,
and just super pleased with the way the team's handling it. And there's a big difference between this and Renew 28 in the fact that Renew 28 was revolutionary in the fact that we were able to put the molecules in a different form of suspension. And we didn't really know for sure how that product was going to work. And over the years, we continued to improve it and make it more stable and actually increase the level of redox signaling molecules. But the team that's in place right now with Asea is a very qualified scientific team, a very qualified quality team. And this is the first time in the company history that there's true university partners that are kind of steering the direction where the research goes. So it's just not one person trying it. Um, I guess looking back 12 years ago, how we developed Renew 28, I'm maybe a little bit embarrassed in the fact that how we came up with it. We was just trial and error. We just kept trying different things. We were using the Edison method of finding out how many ways it didn't work. But there was kind of an interesting thing is it took 41 versions to get to the final version of Renew 28 that we released 12 years ago. And it took 40 versions of Redox Gold to get to its final form.
Wow.
But then over those 12 years, there was probably at least 20 or 30 more changes to Renew 28 to make it better. And really what you're getting now is Redox Gold in its gold form. I mean, it is great. It's been through all the different testing, the stability. It's already stable. It's all, there's so much more understanding with the product. And I have a little side bet with some of the team at Asea on how much they're going to sell. And so we'll see. We'll see who wins that bet. So
Well,
I
it's
think it's going to
pretty
be a great product.
amazing. It's pretty amazing how much they sold just with the leaders that came in, you
Yeah,
know?
that was by design. The whole thought was to get the product out, to get some product experiences, get people educated. So a month later, when it was ready for more of a global distribution, um, that people would know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be
That's
amazing.
brilliant.
Thursday, I'll be placing my order on Thursday with the rest of you. And
Yeah.
I did get, was able to get some product early on, but wow, we're just super excited. And I have a list of people that are ready to order as well. So it's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's that it's exciting. I've only just posted just a little bit about it. I haven't really even posted that much. And I already have a list too that people have texted or called me and just said, get me on the list because I want to try this. So
Yeah. And it's really kind of an amazing situation where people can try it.
yeah,
Um, the interesting thing is what the thermographic images are showing is it works 100% of the time. Now,
yeah,
whether somebody thinks it works or not, that's fine. They can make that decision. But the science says it works every single time. There was not a single participant that it didn't work. And
wow.
that's just, I mean, you can't even um, ask for a better result. So those images are super powerful. So if someone doesn't think it's working, the images showed that in 60 people it worked.
Yeah,
And that just shows that after 15 minutes there was a cooling effect where they put the product, and so it's not a residual from just having the gel cool it. It's 15 minutes later, and you can visibly see it. So that's really amazing.
that's really cool too. I gave it to a gal. We were playing cards the other night, and her thumb has really been sore, and she's been getting injections in it. She used it when we first started. By the time we're almost done playing cards, I just said, "Hey, how's your thumb?" And she's like, "Oh, it feels so good." And then we went out with them again a couple nights later, and she says, "Well, I don't really know. I think that the injection that I got just finally started working."
Yeah,
Like, oh man, people are so funny that way. It's like it was obvious, that it worked so quickly.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Well, I think that I saw a couple of people in the chat ask some questions and I couldn't see them. Can Redox Gold be used after surgery?
I
Uh,
wouldn't put it even close to any kind of wound. I think um, after you start to heal, we went to my daughter's track coach, and he had knee surgery a few weeks ago. Yes, it would be great for that, but don't put it anywhere close to an open wound or anything like that. You don't want those gold particles in there. But yeah, certainly after you begin that healing process, yeah, you can put that on there.
I had somebody ask me today too. They cut their finger pretty bad and they said, "Do I use the gold or the renew?" And I'm like, "Renew." Remember, the gold is for your muscles, joints, the tension, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll
Okay.
say the same thing that I said about Renew for years and years and years. Please don't eat this product. It's not an ingestible. And if your tongue is swollen, don't put it on your tongue. Or if you have cold sores or something like that, don't do that because we don't. It's specifically designed for a topical use. And it's very different product than Renew 28. It's very targeted in what it's intended to do.
Okay. Well, I don't see any more questions in the chat. So, yeah, so
But
looks
really,
like,
just lead with your experience. So you kind of do it in reverse order. I've been leading with my personal experience. I mean, 39 years living with that discomfort. And I've had everything from acupuncture to plasma replacement therapy to stretching, time massage, all these different things. But this is the first thing that's really given me true relief. So use your experience and then show thermographic images if somebody wants to know a little bit more about it. Don't really talk that much about glutathione or NRF2 pathway unless you really understand that and unless the person you're talking to understands that. No one expects you to be an expert in that. And it's different for me having been involved with the research for a long time. If somebody wants to know, I can tell them that, but I just tell them, hey, my back feels great. How would you like to
yeah,
try the product? And where do you have discomfort?
yeah,
And just think of that. I've just heard some of the funniest stories already, but try not to make it too complicated. Have a good time with it, and it's funny. My wife plays pickleball at the local rec center every day, and she's giving away all of our samples, and so we're happy to get some more product.
yeah.
And for us, it's just we're just having fun sharing, and that's what we're gonna do.
I think that's the best. Then you don't have to get all, worried about understanding the technology, right?
No, just use it. Have enough that you have some with you all the time,
Yeah.
uh, and then that's it. And just have a
Everybody's
good
got
time
an
with it.
everybody's got a place of discomfort.
Yeah, and there's just fun stories, with knees and ankles and elbows, uh, um, and just say, yeah, I've got something for that, and just
Yeah,
have a good time with it. And don't get too heavy in the science. The science is there if you need it. It's definitely proven. The safety's there, so don't worry about that. And you're going to get a great deal on the product starting on the 6th. And
yeah,
from what I understand, there's some other cool things coming on how they're going to make this available for subscription and enrollments and different things like that. And they'll announce that, but there'll just be a limited time offer for the 2 weeks. And that's by design. Get as much product out there with as many people using it and no, there is no limit. You can order as much as you want. I saw that question just come in
yeah,
the chat.
yeah. That's no
Until
limit.
they run out. So that's I told the people there at Asea, I said, hey, never ran out of product on my watch.
Yeah,
No pressure, no pressure. In 13 years, we never back ordered on anything that was core technology. It was always if we were relying on another vendor or something like that. But so
right.
I put the pressure on the team, said, do me proud, don't run out.
Don't run out. That's right. We want this to keep coming. Okay, well, Scott, thank you so much for taking time to be here with us
Yeah.
and to share the excitingness of this and the simpleness of it. And wow, we can't wait to get this in the hands of as many people as possible because it works. And I love like first reactions from people that they use it and they're like speechless. They don't even know how to describe what just happened. They're like, is this true? Is this real? Like, I don't feel that anymore, you know? It's like disbelief.
Yeah. I saw a question pop up about sample tubes. The sample tubes will be available if you order the 4 pack. Then
Yeah,
you get 6 samples, and that's the only way to get those samples. I do understand they're going to put together a subscription pack that will include samples, and that will be available after the limited time offer is run its course. So yeah, there's some cool things coming. The samples are valuable, so just don't give them out. Make sure somebody's really going to use it, and hold those very valuable because they are.
I'm so glad that you said that because I think a lot of times people will give the samples out and then there's zero follow-up. They
Yeah,
don't make people be accountable. Like, this is a real exchange that we're making, and we can exchange this for a phone number, email, and then I want you to report back to me what experience that you had with that. And I mean, it's got to be really clear. That's why you're giving them this, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Don't just hand those samples out without getting contact information and really committing. I've actually not given them to people unless they use a little bit right there in front of me.
I'm smart.
And even we had a friend come over and she was having terrible sciatica pain, discomfort. And I said, well, go in the restroom down in the hall, try it out. I'm not going to give you a sample tube unless you go
Unless
try
you
it
try
out.
it.
Yeah. So have fun with it. And make sure people are going to use it, because those sample tubes, they're not going to be readily available other than as you order. So they're meant to be a tool. But as you ramp up a new product like this, there is supply chain limitations. And right now it's the tube manufacturer and that can make enough tubes to keep up with the demand.
Wow.
And so that's what's happening right now. There's plenty of firepower at the Redox Center. They'll be able to make this very, very quickly as it scales up. But wow, amazing. US gets it first, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand. Great markets to start out. And it's because it took so long with the regulators in Europe and in Asia. They had a lot more questions. So good job for everybody, and really enjoy it. Have a lot of fun.
Well, thanks again, everybody. If you want to open up your mics and just tell Scott thanks, and we're just so excited that you're
Thank
in the field
you.
with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Everyone,
Great.
Nice
have a
to
good
see
evening.
everyone.
I'm going to log off.
Thanks,
Thanks, everyone.
everybody.
Connie,
Bye.
Tammy.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.